Any journey, you gotta be clear about where you're starting from. Then we gotta say, well, where are we going? People don't normally come to us thinking, I want you to help me get really clear about my goals. In fact, I had this great experience with a friend of mine who was a retired investment banker. And he said he'd gone to all the big banks and brokerage firms and asked for help. And he came to me and he said, you know the big problem with your industry, sort of lumping us in with everybody else, is nobody has actually tied the decisions I'm making with my dollars, my investments, and my life. Right? Which was, of course, a shock to me because that's all we do. I mean, it's not a spreadsheet to us, right? It's simply a dialogue about trying to figure out what's really important to you. People often find themselves in our offices saying, you know, help me, I need help investing this money. I mean, it might be in my 401k, or I've got a big goal. I mean, but something, you gotta help me solve this now, right? And that seems really technical, right? But first, let's get really clear about why. What's the piece? What's the piece that really matters? How do we find the really important stuff? It's sort of foundational, it's the core of what we do. And I actually don't know how else you do that than with a really great advisor having that dialogue with you. It's just a natural human bias to not sit down and plan for the future. These are human tendencies. And so imagine if instead of anxiety about the uncertain future, you get to this spot where you're clear about where you are today. We have a clear set of goals, at least in terms of where we think we're headed, right? And we've now got a process in place for getting there, right? Now you've identified a set of goals that you said were important to you, like spending more time with your kids. And then we literally have the ability to let go. The anxiety goes away, and now you found you can actually go do some of the things you identified as your goals. Like, I don't know, what's that worth, right? I don't know what could be more valuable. All of our clients, right? They're successful, disciplined people. Smart, successful, disciplined people. And so sometimes one of the most challenging roles we have is to get them to flip that switch. Like to realize, like, wait, you can now go do some of those things you've told us are super important. That's why we've been doing this. We're saying, look, you've been telling me for 10 years that your goal is to travel more. We're there, brother, right? Like, take the trip, put the golf shoes on, like, go do some of those things you've been telling us. That's why we've been doing this work, right? I mean, the reality is we see past the spreadsheet to this set of your most important dreams and goals.